Here we go. We're on the air. A few more key presses. Welcome back. I'm Speed at the bottom of the helix. This is the October NMRA show. And don't look now, but Darren's really nervous. Okay,
Yes.
he ate a whole meal and now he's just worried that he enjoys it too much. So, I want you to keep in mind that Train Fest is coming this very next weekend, November 1st. The I explained in the previous videos that I got an email from Southwest Airlines this morning saying, when was the last time you did something for the first time? So think about that. Darren will do this the first time on NMRX, so he's covered. I don't do many first time things in the last time, so when the DART opened up this silver line this morning from Shiloh, which is about 4 minutes from my house, all the way to DFW Airport for a 55-minute trip, I took my whole household to go on the Silver Line's very first train on the schedule. So that was quite a lot of fun. It's amazing how they make these new diesel locomotives, or DMUs, so silent, and the track was smooth, and the people were friendly. And of course, the train was completely full because everybody wanted to be on the first train. But I guess by Monday it would have worn off a little bit, and then there would be plenty of seats for people. So let's get going. Our next presenter is from London, Ontario. Only likes red, white, and black, which he might explain, and is going to show us tonight what makes up remote operations of the Canadian Locomotive Logistics. Please welcome Darren Calcutt.
I was going to laugh and say, "Where's the applause?" But
You can
that
tell the
was
story.
in the
You
yeah,
can tell
that
the
was
story.
the emails. Anyways, thanks very much. I appreciate the opportunity to share what I've been working on for many years. I mean, wow, this project has been going on for a long time. So I'd like to share with you what I've been doing about remote operations. Um, a little bit about the background. Loving locomotives. I mean, every one of us has spent time in a yard watching things move left and right, and how they move. And I've always been interested in the inertia and just massive um, size and power of a locomotive. Um, Especially diesels. I love diesels, and if we get a chance to see the layout on my um, behind me, you'll notice that there's a lot of diesels on my layout. So, um, yeah, I've also volunteered places like Port Stanley Terminal Railway, where I earned my brakeman certificate there. Um, it gave me a lot of knowledge about how locomotives run, the rules, regulations. It's just great opportunity to be involved with a one-on-one scale. Um, Other highlights that also I have been I used to go down to St. Thomas. St. Thomas is a place where the Ford plant used to be. Um, the Norfolk Southern line would come up from Buffalo and string across to London down to St. Thomas, where they would pick up auto parts and auto frames. And I got to meet a engineer and a locomotive engineer and conductor. At that time, the rules were a little less strict, we'll say. They invited me up on the cab of a locomotive, Norfolk Southern Dash 8. So, and I got to drive the unit. I mean, what an opportunity it was for me. It it put me as a kid again. I was on cloud nine driving a Dash 8 locomotive, and I believe it was 88622 if I remember correctly. So if you go to my website, Canadian Locomotive Logistics .ca, you will see a picture of me and AI generated with that locomotive in the background. So I'm pretty proud of that. That's pretty nice in there. So again, with the love of I won't say I don't want to be an engineer, but I want to let people enjoy being an engineer on my layout. I want people to operate it like you are an engineer. Speed, signals, everything to do it realistic way. So um, how I've done that is I originally built a camera inside of a locomotive and I would put that on a TV screen and get a picture. And I'm sure most of us have seen people that have say a DJI and put it on a flatbed car and push it around. I have, here's one of my, I gotta remember who I'm, here's one of my originals. So I put a Wi-Fi, or sorry, an RF camera inside a locomotive, and the lens is right on the front. So that's one of the originals. And of course, it had a problem because of fluorescent lights back then. It was just a radio frequency. Now we have evolved and we have IP cameras, so we can get a nice digital picture from a locomotive um, and put it. So again, like DJI and other IP cameras. Um, so what I had done is, and here's an older version here. Got to remember who I'm talking to here. So I put the IP camera. Got to see if you guys can see here. IP camera. This is the brains, the ribbon cable right up to the lens of the camera up front, and it is powered by the DCC track. This car is on a Wathers center to breast car, and I use them because I like to keep this lens here in tangent with the track. And that's the biggest problem when you compress your scale um, scale trains, how you see things and perceive things on a camera. For instance, my track is 36-inch radius, and of course on the camera picture, that curve will cause it to go left and right a large amounts. So this car pivots quite nicely. Oops, get it up here. Pivots quite nicely and quite quickly so that we keep, and you'll see, I'll give you a demonstration of how the track stays on the screen so we can see where we're driving quite quickly. There's a lot to this car between voltage regulators, voltage rectifiers. I have a battery in it so that this one here lasts 3 hours. If so, I have no problems with track problems. It will continue to do a stream to the internet. And away you go. You can share your video that way. So let's see here, think about it a little bit. Streaming to the internet. So now that we have a camera that can stream to the internet, I use software like OBS, or you can use any other streaming software to pipe it up to YouTube, the YouTube channel. You can go and find me, Canadian Locomotive Logistics, and you can see a live stream all the time from the camera on my layout. I use overlays and other things with the streaming software so that I can get multiple pictures and additional information on on I'll show you later on the screen what's going on. So I went one step further um, with the blessing of Bob Jacobson, I believe, from JMRI. I ripped apart their throttle program, and I rewrote it so that I can include graphics when you're operating a locomotive. You'll see in the demonstration that I tried to make it like a cab inside where you can click on the graphics and then actually run the locomotive. I have the graphics down across the bottom, uh, dash dash 9 for starters, and then of course up top the video piped back from YouTube so that you can see where you're driving around on the layout. Of course, you got an engineer's perspective. If you really want to do an op session, you'll need a conductor in the room. Um, yeah, someone's got to get out of the cab and flip the turnouts and tell you how far back to go and how close to go. So yeah, um, wonder if there's anything else. The software I wrote in JavaScript. Um, so I was just thinking about it. It's quite elaborate. It's taken me a couple years, and it's amazing. We're always fine tuning, adding something in there. Basically, all the commands are passed on to JMRI out to the main line, and just like a um, throttle in there. So if you're available, I'd like to flip over to the other screen. Not sure how I tell. Thank you. I'm glad I can hear you too in there. So this is the screen when you pull up the web page. I'm not sure. Somehow we'll get you guys a link to it. Um, Again, like I said, top half of the screen is the live video from the camera, 1280 by 700 resolution. This one's a 35 frames per second. It's okay, keeps the cost down. If I were to get a better camera, of course the cost goes up. Um, Things on that top screen. So an overlay at the top left, if I cursor over here, so oops, I can't go on the screen. Top left overlay, so I can put things on there from the streaming software unique if I want to put a comment or highlight some stuff. Top middle, I do an overlay with a packet analyzer. So I get a visual indication as an engineer that the information is being out on the rail. It's troubleshooting is what it is for. So if I do, I'm just gonna crack the throttle and you should see that change, and I get affirmation that commands are getting out to the main line on the DCC unit. The top right hand corner, that's just the time date stamp from the locomotive, or sorry, from the camera that's in front of the locomotive. I'll move this one out of the way. And the right, sorry, top, the right, the inlay of the video there, that's another USB camera that I have um, on the layout. It's just a stationary USB camera in there. I like to see myself drive by a perspective. And a lot of people are always asking me, what locomotive am I driving with today? um, so they can see themselves. And I switch it up every once in a while. Um, Things on the screen on the bottom half. So if I go down here, I made the software do pop-ups so you know what the item is. And in this case, you should be able to see it says emergency stop. You click that button, it will go back down to zero or idle position on the throttle. There's the radio. It's pretty simple. Click it on and off. It really doesn't do anything, but we were going to add it in to have a feed going from the States, adding to the realism that sounds of a dispatcher, etc. Here's one of the important things: dead man switch. Um, we wrote the software every 90 seconds. You'll get an alarm so that you need to push either dead man switch on either side, the yellow buttons. Otherwise, the locomotive will shut down. Sander button, it just generates sound. Obviously, in HO scale, we don't have sand coming out of a line. That would be funny. The bell, again, turn it on. Oops. Oops. Sorry, guys. There, we're back. If I lose the connection to this, it'll reset. So that's what that is. There's the bell. Horn. And I'm on a laptop right now. This web page will work on anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Um, bigger, bigger the better, of course, on a screen. But um, I was going to say an iPad that's got the same resolution. You know, it's obviously better. I use the iPhone. A lot of times I'll pull up the web page. My wife's inside grocery store and I'm outside. Hey, just check in and then run a train around for a couple times and then see what's going on. But anyway, I'll just continue on here. So reverser handle. Now we wrote the software so that it's either a double click or click for one way or the other way. Um, and you can see, so that's in reverse. And then that's a forward position. The next handle here, so throttle and it says brake. I really need to change that to throttle and dynamic brake. Um, Putting the handle forward puts it in the dynamic brake mode. And then of course, pulling the handle back for you is the speed. And it's full eight notches if you want to go. We'll drive it later. Um, Automatic brake, again, they work. I have the code so that it applies the brake to the decoder that's in the locomotive online. An independent brake, because I'm using soundtracks, sounds, I'll show you where they come from. That's another story. Um, it took a little bit of work because of how the function keys go with automatic and but we got it worked out. So thanks to George, by the way, he's been amazing at helping me out with how things work so that I can get the best features out of this piece of web page here. Um, to the right again, where there's another dead man switch, and all these little white ones here are functions. Obviously, I'll go up and actually I'll do the headlight here. Headlight dim and then headlight full. So they do functions, if I remember correctly, 0 and 7. Is it for the dim? I can't remember. But you can manually do the functions here. So if I want to do a function or function that's not on the graphics user interface, I can use these manually ones. And F8 is a good one. Start the locomotive and um, shut down the locomotive. I don't have enough graphics user interface for it to be able to turn around and shut the locomotive down. So it's in there now. I don't know what I'm going to do for functions that are over. I got 5 times 3, so 5 times 3. Oh my gosh, 30 switches here. A zero being the starter. So what am I going to do for functions beyond that? I don't. I haven't figured it out. I'll get there. Each step in a while. But anyways, I'm gonna drive this baby, and you're gonna love this. This is great. So we're already in the forward position, and hopefully you guys can hear, and away we go. I don't know with this feed what the delay is like. Um, Another thing to worry about is when I stream to YouTube, and then obviously it's coming to you as the user or the engineer. Um, the lag, there's the word I was thinking of, the lag in the controls. So when I go and I push the horn here, right now I can't hear it, but um, yeah, the lag that goes. Usually it's about 5 seconds, which isn't not bad, really. I have had times where Australia was 15-second lag, and it's a little bit of a problem trying to drive a locomotive when you're 15 seconds a lag. So you want to stop at a certain spot. You got to remember, oh, wow, it's 15 seconds behind you, and it can be a little bit of a problem. So in here, but as it's going around my layout, I don't know if you'll follow me. The camera, it is. Oh, I gotta ask him to. It's okay. You don't have to switch. I was gonna say they can see it coming by me here. Just a little note, you got to have, for something like this, you have to have impeccable track work. I leave this on 24/7. Um, I'm not here. I don't need derailments. I don't need cars coming off, boosters going down. It gets ugly. And you all know about the safety of having such a current draw. You don't need burning wires under your layout. So if we have some time later, I'll give you a little um, tour of the layout and here. I do have some signals going. You can see that on the screen. This first one is by track detection. So if you want to obey the signals, go right ahead. I'm pleased if you do. And the next couple of signals go by a timer so that um, just by sequential. I haven't got enough sensors in yet to have them all, but my layout here is only 12 and a half feet square, um, 36-inch radius. Here's a good example on my bridge when we were talking about. So 36-inch radius curve. I want the camera to quickly move to the left so that it doesn't go off the screen. If I were to put the camera, people have always asked if put it inside of a locomotive. The problem is then, and I'll move back a bit. Um, if you put the camera in a locomotive, because of the length of the locomotive, your view will be straight ahead instead of left and right. as the train is moving. So, and you can see I'm going to go through this red light. Um, Another thing is I've cut the locomotive speed down. I don't want people running remotely on my layout. Um, Huge speeds, of course. Um, yeah, I think I got it down to speed. CV5 is 35. So I cut it down big time. I had an accident once when I let people just drive it, and yeah. So um, what else is there I wanted to talk about in there? My layout is a modular layout, so I can take each table in and out as I please or change it. I don't normally do, but I just let people operate remotely, and away I go. Um, if you get some time, go go look up a friend of mine in Cambridge, Ontario. He goes by the name of Sparky 107 on YouTube. Um, I am trying to work with him, and we're having a few little difficulties with the last camera to put his layout online. So you will be able to go to a website exactly the same as this and operate a locomotive on his layout. Um, Lord willing, I can accommodate more people. I can put more people online with the camera. It doesn't have to be mine as long as it's a streaming video camera. Um, we can put other people's layouts online, and my goal is to generate hopefully a little bit of revenue for each one of these layouts that are online. Um, for instance, if you got a club layout that wants to go online with this, or a museum, I'd be happy to help you out, get you going on this, and then you'll be able to have people go to your layout, operate it remotely. I'm not sure how we're going to do things, either membership or donation or whatever. I haven't figured that out. I'm not quite at that. Seems like somebody's. Oh, there you can see the comment on the screen. An engineer has entered the cab, so somebody has brought the locomotive to a halt. That wasn't me. So um, I'm not sure how we're doing for time here. So yeah, I can do that. Thanks. I can hear Speed in the background. He's helping me out. I'm a little nervous on here. Um, can I'll take do I take I'll take this camera down and away we go. Thanks. Do I have to flip it around? Um, oh, thanks. It's still me. Do I have an option to use the rear camera? A bit on the phone. Sorry, I don't see it. But anyways, I'll do it this way. I'll just, you'll have to. So this is my layout. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of black and white locomotives. There's the camera down there, and the headlights on the locomotive, if you see it there. I'm a Norfolk Southern fan, obviously. Um, I have a few of them. Yep, sorry. Um, Mom and Dad were a woodworking shop in their basement, and they built me these tables. And thanks to them, it's done really well. All these tables go together with a clip. They butt together, and all the track. I don't know if you can see this. All the track is 2-inch on center, so it makes it really easy to pull these apart and yeah, pull them apart, put another table in, and away you go. One of these days I'll do another event on this bridge. That was a job in itself, designing that so it sustains itself and it's super strong. And the backdrops from Junk Junkies. He did an amazing job. Um, he merged the town into me and the mountains. Amazing job. Like I said, it's not a big room, 12.5 foot square, 36-inch radius. Each track is 36-inch radius. So I'll explain that someday too, how you can get them all 36 inches. But yeah, that's it pretty well in a nutshell. Thanks. Um, I moved fast, but this is how it runs. I'm an NCE fan. Um, like I said, right here is a packet analyzer. So I get feedback on when I'm running to make sure that the information is getting out to the main line. Bill, I think it was Bill, the original guy, talked about EB1s back in here. Very important to have breakers on your layout. This layout has two boosters, one command station, and the other one is command on this programming track dedicated, so I can work with one while the layouts are going. I know Speed was asking about these babies here. That is a serial port server. These are older NCE units that come with a 9-pin serial port. So this allows me to have multiple computers connect to the serial port of an NCE. These are invaluable. I mean, for what $60? I mean, they're amazing. So it's a USR-W610. You can look them up on Amazon. You can get them. I mean, yeah, one here is for the packet analyzer, and then programming track, and then mainline. So I can go upstairs, any computer, I can log in and run trains. Or yeah, it's just amazing. So yeah. um, where did it go? Sorry, I'm moving around probably a little fast. So there it is. I'll move this guy out of the way. This is the camera that we've been using here. It has a lens up at the front, and I put the lens on here. It's from a dollar store glasses, so it pulls the focal length distance in close, so you get to see the points on a switch really close rather than A normal camera focuses 6 feet and beyond. Um, what other things? Voltage rectifier on each end, and I have pickup trucks, so each truck, all wheels pick it up. Voltage regulator. I don't know if this cap will come off. In there, I 3D print and makes things a little bit neater. And of course, the antenna, 2.4 gigahertz it uses, and it just pops onto the network. And of course, my OBS software then just pulls the camera image in, and away you go. It works pretty good. Now, if we just get Sparky's layout online again, we'll be really happy. Happy. Oh. Um, when it comes to the website, I'm going to put this back in the cradle. Yeah. When it comes to the website, um, your best bet is to just Google Canadian Locomotive Logistics. You're going to pull up, I have Instagram, YouTube, my own web server. I actually own my own server here at the house, and I run a lot of stuff with it. You'll see a bunch of listings, layouts. I'm hoping to have more layouts online. So as I populate the website, I'll add those layouts to it. I would really love to see more and more layouts online that you can pick and choose which ones you want to operate on. We had Sparky's up for a little while until we fried the camera. Not sure why, but it was great. You from here, I can operate on his layout down there, just like mine here. So we'll get it fixed up and away we go again. Um, yeah. Got any problems? I mean, it's Canadian Locomotive Logistics at gmail.com. You can get a hold of me, and I'll gladly help you out and see what I can do for you. So
You mind if I ask some of the questions?
Sure.
So I hope the audience can hear me. If this is running 24/7, you're likely not
Yeah,
always to be there.
I am most of the time not in the room. Yeah.
So are there special things you do on this layout that I would probably not do on mine to keep it up and running?
Okay. A few things I did. I made a loop, which is it keeps it safe. Point to point operations would be a little bit difficult, and I would suggest, and safety wise, have somebody in the room then. You don't want to push them off the end of the table, or but having it in a loop, um, yeah, it creates, people go as fast as they want. A lot of people go backwards as fast as they want. I'm not here. Again, making it impeccable track work though. I use Code 83 track, and I pride myself on the track work and the switches and everything. It just runs beautiful. Make sure your frogs are powered. Um, yeah, and if you have just one spot that causes a problem, I mean, the user's not going to enjoy having sitting in the one spot because he can't move. And then you get people saying, "Hey, I can't get it to move." So, yeah,
How often do you come down here or walk to the train room to see if it's all good?
every morning, every morning. A couple of things is lag. I always check the lag first thing in the morning. Um, Sometimes the internet service provider is not perfect. I'm on Rogers, and Rogers right now is giving me grief. They're going to replace the line coming into the house. But yeah, sometimes I come down here and it's offline. So I ended up having to put the stream back up and reconfiguring the page so that it gets the live stream. Every time you do a stream with YouTube, it generates a new
Link.
yeah link. Thank you. And I have to update the web page to it. So
So is there any security or a login that I need to create to come run a train, or I just
no,
click a few buttons and it's going?
just pull up the web page and away you go. What I do have a problem with right now is multiple engineers at one time. So you'll see on the screen when you run it, it says an engineer has entered the cab. Its default value is to start off in at speed 0. So if you're running it and somebody else jumps in on the page, it's going to go to 0 and you're going to see that prompt that says an engineer has entered the cab. So I haven't quite figured out a way to, I don't want to really book a time or schedule a time with people. I just, just be patient. I mean, um, I forgot about telling you at the bottom, there's a text box you can use to type in there and you can have a conversation with other engineers that are on there or back and forth. I'm finished. You want to turn, sort of thing. And so far, I've had no problems with people sharing the time online with trains when I've had up to 4 people waiting. Um,
I can
I
just see
get
myself arm wrestling with Sparky 107, 107 about a time slot here. And, that's not going to play well. We Texans, we just do what we need to do.
Sparky's a great guy. Yeah.
So, how many layouts do you already have in the system?
Just me and Sparky right now. I have a couple of people, one in Florida that's asking questions. There's one in London where I live in town. Um, Everybody's inquiring about it and saying, what do I need? Well, yeah, that's a good question too, is what do I need to do this thing with? So, other than the layout and a good layout that runs well, um, laptop is what I use. They're not. These ones are used 150. I think I paid for this one. Um, Streaming camera is what you need. It doesn't have to be mine. Choo Choo Cam is another one that does it. As long as it does streaming video. Um, you don't want one that just goes to a card and then play it back. I want to be live. Um, Live. You need it live. So um, and that's it. I mean, I got all the software to do the rest.
Cool. So, are there specific target layouts that you would like to join?
If I dream, obviously the bigger the better. Everybody loves. Oh, wait till you see if you get to drive on Sparky's layout. I mean, what is that? 40 feet by 20 feet. He calls it the shed. 3 tiers.
And a helix that goes up and up and
Yeah,
up and up and
helix.
up.
Um, was it? We figured 35, 40 minutes to do a loop. That's
Wow.
a long time.
Wow. Yeah,
Excuse me.
I have the hiccup that this is pretty much point to point. I only have a reverse loop around the city and then around the helix and then back to the
Yeah.
city. So there's only two towns in a loop. The rest all dead ends.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to uncouple your engines, which you could do remotely if you can see where the magnets are, and run
Yeah.
around your train. So now we need to have turnout control, which I assume you would add at some point, so I can change.
Actually, yeah, sorry. I do have turnout control. I don't
Okay.
tell anybody.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I do have it. I've used it, and it's cool when you see it, the turnout in front of you. I use
Okay.
Smails on it, and you see the points just go, and
Oh,
you're like,
that's
woohoo!
that is
And
cool.
yeah, it's very nice.
So then someone also asked the protocol decoder or viewer that I believe you put on the DCC. Uh, where does that data go?
I
You had
don't.
a sniffer there.
Oh, so I just put it. I like to. Okay, you don't have to have a packet analyzer. I like that option. They're old ones from NCE. Thanks to NCE, I mean they don't make them anymore. The original ones, and I Um, anyways, it's on the JMRI and JMRI. I create a overlay and I put it on the web page so you can see it as you're running. You can actually see the packet commands on the top of the screen scrolling up real quickly. It's kind of neat, actually.
Well, that could be a tool all by itself without,
Oh,
right?
it's saved me many times just to say, hey, does the light come on? Off. I mean, it's not even getting there. Yeah.
So when you walk out of the room, do you keep the lights on then?
No, no.
So we have to run in
So
the dark?
you're gonna love this. So Alexa, turn off the train room. Okay. Whoa. Alexa, turn the train room to blue. Want to run at night? Alexa,
Wow.
turn the train room to daylight. Okay. So I wrote in the software in the web page, this center light here comes on when somebody loads up the web page.
Okay.
Just like it gives them 10 minutes, then it shuts off. So
Yes,
yeah, you don't want to run the hydro all the time.
indeed.
Yeah,
Cool.
it is a neat little system. I mean, I think I'm the first one to let people operate publicly anytime they want.
I do know
And
there's a layout in Waxahachie, which is just south of Dallas. I forgot the
mhm,
gentleman's name now, and he runs trains 24/7. So you go to YouTube and you just see the trains move, and he has like 3 or 4 cameras that would switch
mhm,
views. And so maybe we need to get him involved so that he can allow people to operate the trains instead of them just running.
mhm. Yeah, that's. I wanted people to have the opportunity to run them, not just. eh, There's a ton of videos, and I love them. I got a special channel where I list all in cab videos that I found. It's great. I love it. I think it's the best in cab videos. But when you get to control it now, you can stop, you can go backwards, forwards, whatever you want. I mean, this consists the currently one. What do I got? One, two, three, four locomotives on the front and one DPU. When you see it go by and you find the DPU at the back and you realize, wow, that's a fair train you're running right here.
Do you have a stationary camera somewhere that someone could see?
Yeah, the right here on the table,
Yeah.
and it appears on the web page top right hand corner, so you can see yourself go by.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Okay, so I did type in your website without the WordPress part behind it, and that takes me to a weird place.
yeah. You want the
So
WordPress.cll
yeah,
too.
so somehow we need to, once this video concludes and I put the timestamps in for where the chapters are, call it that, then I will copy paste your link into by this clinic. So it's like a, when you open up the
I
transcript kind of thing.
appreciate that.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy
run
to do
my
that.
own. I have my own server in the other side of the house, and I use WordPress, and
Yeah.
so
So warning, don't go to the non-WordPress one. It goes to weird places.
yeah, it's. I'm not sure why. I'll figure it out. Other
Okay.
things, I really need to get a reverse proxy server going, and there's lots to do yet. So, but where it's at right now, enjoy it. I
Cool.
mean, this is amazing.
Well, Darren, thank you. That
No,
was a lot
thank
of
you.
fun.
I appreciate the opportunity.
I think everybody else also enjoyed it, even though they didn't ask a million questions like I threatened them to do. The but at least we can maybe build a community of remote ops and then do this maybe once a quarter, the little
Exactly.
update. Um, so thank you to everybody who
No,
was watching through the afternoon, night, morning, wherever you are. Um,
yeah.
this is, of course, NMRX. We also warn you about TrainFest that's coming up the first weekend of November, November 1st, actually, which is 6 days from tomorrow. And if you are there, come say hi. And again, Darren, thank you.
No,
And
thank you. Thank you for being patient with me too.
no worries. And we will see you all soon.
Take care.